Hello and welcome to Mexico News Network's Breaking News. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Elisa Carballo, and we have excellent information for you coming right ahead. Remember, Mexico News Network is your #1 source for reliable information on business and investments in the Americas, stock markets and bonds, and also corporate information about Mexico. So browse through our website on www.mexiconewsnetwork.com, our digital content platform. Now let's begin with today's main headline stories. Mexico and the U.S. signed an agreement for Mexico to capture and process land surface imagery and data directly from a U.S.-operated satellite. Representatives of both nations, being the U.S.'s Interior Secretary Sally Jewell and Mexico's Eduardo Sojo, president of the National Institute of Statistics and Geography, signed the agreement to share satellite data between both nations during the 2015 Ministerial Summit of the Group on Earth Observations in Mexico City. The agreement means Mexico will now be able to get the raw information from the Landsat 8 satellite immediately, instead of waiting for filtered data to be released by U.S. authorities. Officials say that this new deal will allow Mexico to better track environmental change, agricultural, geology, forestry, and mapping too, as well as improve, of course, the monitoring and preparation for phenomena such as hurricanes. Now, Ms. Sally Jewell told the Associated Press that the agreement definitely acknowledges Mexico's capability and hunger, really, for this real-time data to address the challenges and the opportunities for that they have on the ground. For instance, Hurricane Patricia. That is the kind of information that Mexico could have been using in real time to help it prepare. In addition, the new deal lessens Mexico's dependence on the U.S. for interpretation of data, enabling it to directly integrate it with the data the nation already has. Now, Mexico will now be receiving downloads from the Landsat 8 at a station operated by the country's space agency in the city of Chetumal in the Caribbean region on the southeastern border with Belize. According to Eduardo Sojo, Mexico's president of the National Institute of Geography and Statistics, this is an extraordinarily important leap, since Mexico will be receiving also historical information, enabling us to construct models that let us precisely anticipate disasters, as well as model the impact that climate change is having on issues such as flooding, agriculture in the different areas where we use satellite images. Now, Mexico joins about a half a dozen other countries that are already downloading such data directly from the U.S. satellites, according to the U.S. Interior Secretary. He also added that Mexico has great plans to share the data received to federal, state, as well as local government entities, and also researchers and universities. In more news, the Walmart Mexico Foundation wants to help out and try and fight hunger, and is doing so through the support of social projects which would benefit thousands of people living in indigenous communities in various states of Mexico. Through a call to contest, 26 different social projects were selected to receive financial support from Fundación Walmart de México, which will be granting 35.9 million pesos, which is approximately $2.1 US. These projects aim to promote productivity, integral development, and food security of small farmers, as well as projects that contribute to fighting hunger. The projects were selected from 16 Mexican states, which are Yucatán, Campeche, Chiapas, Distrito Federal, Estado de México, Guerrero, San Luis Potosí, Veracruz, Michoacán, Querétaro, Oaxaca, Puebla, Tlaxcala, Jalisco, Hidalgo, and Morelos. Now, this year we spent about 36 million pesos in total to support 26 projects that will result in benefits to more than 16,000 people, said Antonio Ocaranza, Director of Corporate Communications for Walmart Mexico and Central American, during a press release. Through this support, we seek to promote projects that contribute to fighting hunger in vulnerable areas and to promote the productivity of small Mexican farmers to benefit their living conditions, their families, as well as communities. Now, as an example, one of the projects that will receive this support is the civil association Patronato Pro Zona Mazahua AC, with a project of food security for the Tzetzal indigenous people in the state of Chiapas. The project consists of the construction of water tanks to save rainwater, therefore improve their food production. Now, in general terms, financial support will be given to the selected civil associations that fulfill the requirements and sign their projects onto Fundación Walmart de Mexico's call. Now, moving along to a great business model rising, Kichink, a company that developed an amazing platform for online shops, an innovative tool that has helped many other entrepreneurs and established brands to sell their products or services online. Kichink is an online platform that allows anyone to create their own virtual store and therefore sell what they want, either products or services, through their very own website or Facebook fan page. Kichink takes care of all the technological details, the paying system, pickup and delivery, basically everything. Being a very different and innovative product, Kichink had to convince people that this actually works, and in fact, it has given great results. Only on its first year, the platform had to close 13,000 online stores. On the second year, they had 30,000, and today they have 40,000 stores in different categories, being fashion, music, and esoteric products the most popular. Now, Kichink does not only give users the adequate and precise tools to set up their online stores, they also are in charge of setting up the pickup as well as delivery and oversee the payments. In addition, they also give customer service and also help the users provide their stores with tips as well as strategies. The very best part about Kichink is that they do not charge a single peso until the user sells. They take a very small fee on the sales made up by the store. Now, this service is available all throughout Mexico, and the shops established in the platform can sell and send to an entire world. Kichink is a great example of hardworking and thriving through hard times, providing that good ideas and hard work can actually make a good business. Now, there are always two sides to each story, and this is exactly the situation with Mexico and the depreciation of its currency, the Mexican peso. Several factors have influenced the position of Mexican currency. One of them is the strengthened US dollar, which has given the country an advantage when it comes to purchasing power. Now, all of this gives certain plus to those who travel to Mexico with US dollars. Of course, it's known that the business that many Mexican hotels protect themselves from monetary fluctuations by providing rates in US dollars, and they do so by securing a higher profit to reinvest in further development of the product. As business increases, so does choice, and the increased competition raises the bar of value per dollar, which then leads to hotels stepping up their game. Older hotels particularly have to offer more bang for guest bucks though. This environment can be said to be the perfect cue to definitely visit Mexico. Now, with high occupancy rates and competition, there is plenty of discount promotions, particularly in well-known beach resorts. Interestingly enough, the market has shown that the best bargains are in fact mostly found in the luxury segment. This is applied to the hotel as well as restaurant sector, since a 5-star dining experience can very well be found to be quite affordable these days, not to mention the really very cheap food options out in markets and less exclusive restaurants. Now, Mexico's world-class tourism industry, coupled with the lower value of the peso, make now the perfect time to travel to Mexico. Experts state that this phenomenon will hopefully motivate more Americans to realize how far their vacation dollars can actually take them into Mexico's marvelous treasures. Now, moving along to Mexico's business confidence rates, but firstly, let's quickly define the concept. This is an indicator that measures the amount of optimism or pessimism that business managers feel about the prospects of their companies and or organizations. It also provides an overview of the state of the economy that we're speaking of. Business confidence rates in Mexico increased to 53.85% in October from 52.72% in September of 2015. Business confidence in Mexico averaged a 52.05 from the year 2004 until 2015, reaching an all-time high of 62.30% in March of 2006 and a record low of 41.24 in December of 2008. Additionally, Mexico's stock market IPC index decreased to 43,561.33 index points on Friday, November 13th, from the 44,100.97 index points in the previous trading day. Stock market in Mexico averaged a total of 33,203.55 index points from the year 2005 until 2015, reaching an all-time high of 46,357.24 index points in September of 2014, as well as a record low of 14,008.20 index points in August of 2005. It's noteworthy that the Mexican IPC index, the Índice de Precios y Cotizaciones, is a major stock market index which tracks the performance of leading companies listed on the Mexican Stock Exchange. It's made up of a selection of shares that are representative of all the shares listed on the exchange from various sectors across the economy. It's a capitalization weight index. The IPC index has a base value of 0.78 as of October 30 of 1978. All of these indicators and factors clearly state that the year 2015 has definitely seen its highs and lows. Nonetheless, in comparison to previous years and historical records as of now, Mexico definitely represents a solid ground for investments, both foreign as well as domestics. Sadly, this was all for today. Thank you for joining us. Remember, you're watching breaking news from Mexico News Network. I'm your host, Elisa Carballo. And remember to follow us on social networks on Facebook, Twitter, as well as Google+. You'll find us as Mexico News Network. Also, browse through our website on www.mexiconewsnetwork.com for more information about the nation's thriving and rising industries, stock markets, bond shares, and so forth. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.